All right, welcome back, folks. So it is a cold, drizzly day. Getting out here a little late today because I was waiting for some rain to pass through. The water is 69 today. It's Memorial Day weekend, Sunday. Normally I wouldn't be fishing on Memorial Day weekend because all the other boaters, you know, people start to get a little crazy up here. But with this kind of weather, I figured there probably wouldn't be anybody out doing that, and there's not. I was the only boat in the parking lot when I got there, besides two NRP cops who told me good luck out there today, so thanks to them. I think a lot of these fish are probably on the nest. We just had some warm weather that came through, and I'm sure the water was up in the 70s for several days. Now it's dropped to 69, but still gonna try my luck because we are still so early in the summer and not all the fish go on the nest at the same time. I figure the males are probably building nests right now or are already on them, and there should still be some fish out here, probably some females that are still biting. I am seeing some fish here in about 22 feet of water, but I'm probably not gonna try them because usually I see that many fish sitting in that kind of water. They're usually not feeding. I kind of prefer to find something shallow today. But I do need to find some bait. I brought my cast net. I didn't bring any bait with me, so looking for some gizzard shad, things like that. Hopefully maybe some menhaden, anything I can find. I'll take a carp. I'll even take a channel cat and use that for bait if I catch one. But I'm gonna scan around here. I'm gonna try to find some bait, and I'm gonna throw my net, and then we're gonna do some fishing, folks. That's what we're looking for, folks. Like I said, that's what we're looking for, folks. Big old Mondo gizzard shad. A couple more of those and we'll be in business. All right, so I'm now set up in about 15 feet of water. I'm gonna try this spot first. If nothing happens here, then I'll probably go back downriver and drag a little bit. With what bait I got, I haven't found any more shad. They are kind of hard to come by, but I also got a channel cat, so I got him too. I'm gonna throw out 4 sort of smaller pieces of bait, and we'll see what happens here. Typically I don't have a lot of confidence in this spot in the springtime, but I'm seeing a lot of fish here, and I mean, I might just be getting my hopes up, but I am gonna give it a shot anyway, because you never know what's gonna happen. Things change year to year, and you never know what kind of luck you're gonna find, folks. So get these out here. We'll give this area a shot, and hopefully we'll see you when we got a fish on. Looks like we might have one here. Oh yeah, we're hooked up. That only took about 5 minutes, folks, on that fresh gizzard shad. Let's see what we got here. On a day like today, I'll take anything. Hopefully we're gonna have one of those good days. We'll see. I'm dealing with a pretty good incoming tide. And there's our first fish of the day. He's out there doing cartwheels. Not a real big fish, but he left the bait there. If he doesn't throw it off. Come on now, leave me that bait. I'll let you go if you do. Just for being a good fella. Thank you very much. All right. Now calm down. As you can see, folks, I did not put much stock into the carpet in this boat. Never did really care too much about it. it's a catfishing boat. It's going to be dirty, folks. Anyway, there's our first fish of the day. Great eater, but I'm not eating fish today. Anyway, let's get him back and see if we can get some more. There might be something on this one. Yeah, there is. Look at this small fish. Might have already come off. Something's hitting that one. I think we actually got one on this suspended rod here. Yeah. Still not sure about that one. But we do got one here. Got us a fighter here. He's fired up. Not a huge fish, but he's swimming upstream. I love it when they hit these suspended rods and they take off. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. This one's about the same as the last one. Just fired up is all. Maybe a little bigger than the last one. Just a little bit. Well, he's right there. I'm just going to reel this one up and cast it back out. I don't think there's anything on it. I think this one, yeah, picked it up and dropped it. We'll get that back out there. Right about there is where that one hit. See if that one wants to come back. These fish were both just skin hooked. The last one was too. So it's been about another 30 minutes since we caught that first fish. Yeah, that one definitely fired up. But I'll give this about 15 more minutes in this spot before I head back downriver and talk about dragging. I'm going to leave that rod out just because I'm trying to conserve bait, and since they're not super active right here, I don't want to just, you know, cut my bait out and throw it up just to waste it. But here's that one. He's a little bit bigger than that last one. Not too bad. So we'll get this one out of here. Okay, here we go again. Here we go again. I believe this was on the shad headpiece. Something just hit that one too. But I'm hoping it's not just all small fish in this area. I mean, I'll take what I can get, folks, you know. But I'm always trying to catch a big one. That's the point of catfishing, of course. This one's fighting me a little bit. Looks like it's swimming upstream toward me. This current has really picked up. We got a pretty strong incoming tide. We've had a lot of rain, so there's a lot of water to move. This one has been sitting the longest of any of them. I do believe this is that shad head, though. For some reason, I don't get a lot of luck on the head pieces of the shad, but I do on the menhaden. There he is. Yeah, that is that headpiece. This is another fish about the same. It makes 3. I wish their granddaddy would show up though. Left me that headpiece. Don't put that hook in me now. This one's just barely skin hooked too. But okay. We got another one, folks. That's 3. I think that's 3. Hopefully you're helping me count at home. Get them out of here. I'll get that back out, and I guess I'll wait another 15 minutes. We'll see. Alright folks, so had a hit on this one, and then it was hung up. Right here. Let's see where my line has started to come apart from that. So while I am fixing that, I think this is the perfect opportunity to do the history piece for this video. Now this one is going to be about the town of Benedict, which is about 5 miles downriver, not too far. There's a big old hawk flying over. Now, as I have talked about in some of my older videos, the significance of the Patuxent River in the War of 1812. On August the 18th of 1914, Napoleon had gone into exile, which freed up the British Navy and Army to put their full effort on fighting this war here, the War of 1812. On the date that I said, August 18th of 1814, the British landed Marines and Army regulars at Benedict on the Patuxent River. And those troops marched up the peninsula, southern Maryland, where they burned tobacco farms, fields, plantations, everything in their path as they went. They were met by the U.S. forces at Bladensburg, which is near D.C., and they defeated the American forces at the Battle of Bladensburg and went on to sack D.C., which is the first time that that city, and the last time that that city was ever taken by a foreign invader. Now, after that, the British moved on toward Baltimore, where they met American forces again at Fort McHenry at the Battle of North Point. Now, the significance of that battle is that the Americans technically lost that battle too, but they did hold off the British long enough to fortify Fort McHenry, which later led on to the Americans being able to win the War of 1812. Now, the significance for Memorial Day weekend of this history piece and that is that a gentleman by the name of Francis Scott Key, who watched that battle all night, wrote a poem the next day called Defense of McHenry. And that poem later became the lyrics to a song that we call the Star-Spangled Banner, which is the national anthem of the United States of America, folks. It's all tied in together in history, and it's pretty cool to think about when you're on this river fishing for catfish. Of course, there were no catfish on this river back then, but here on Memorial Day weekend, we remember all those folks who gave their lives to defend our great country, and all the folks in every other skirmish and war who did the same. So thank you to all of them. We remember them here on Memorial Day. With that said, I'm going to give this another 15 minutes. We'll see if I catch another one. There's been some fish tapping all 3 of these, but if nothing happens then, I'm going to head on down river and I'm going to start dragging the rest of this bait I got. Alright, this one just went down again. That's either a good fish or he hung up or something. He's on there. It's not hung up. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Like I always say, it's hard to tell. We're gonna reel them on in. In this situation, folks, it's good to try to keep the fish from coming up to the surface. So they come up to the surface in this current and they start, you know, splashing around all crazy. That's when they'll throw the hook. And as you've seen, these last 3 fish I've caught have just been skin hooked. They're not really biting hard and loading up the rod so much. I mean, this one loaded up this rod. And this one is staying down. Well, we're gonna see what we got here. I haven't felt any head shakes really. I don't know. Yeah, there it is. Decent fish. See, now he wants to fight. he was probably wrapped up or something. He's not huge, but I think he's just right there where he's about net worthy. You better calm down before you come in this boat. Look, he's putting a little bit of a bend in this rod. We'll play him just a minute just to get all the pip and vinegar out of him, you know, before he comes in the boat. Because I don't want that hook in me. Looks like he's hooked pretty good. Yeah. The bird went over there and landed right there where he hooked up. Saw all that action. He wants some for himself. Look, he just went under the water too. I think that was a cormorant. Folks don't like cormorants around here. I think cormorants, they're not an invasive species, but they are really detrimental to the fish. I think they eat a lot of bait fish. They eat a lot of menhaden and all that stuff that folks like. So let's see if we can get this one hooked without getting in the way of this other rod. Yeah, that one was net worthy. That's a decent fish. Get him off the hook. Decent fish. No monster. He's not gonna go 20 or anything like that, but almost didn't want to net him just because of this right here. I hate how this always happens right here. I get my sinker all tangled up in my net. Not real sure how to avoid it. It doesn't always happen, but it happens more often than not. Look, that one is just skin hooked too. He's just, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna get the camera and show you. This has been all 4 of these fish today. Look at that. Just barely skin hooked. He ate that old belly piece of shad that's been sitting there for an hour. So I guess they are hungry. Put this camera back. Get that one out of here. I almost don't want to move. I've been telling myself for the last hour, and I've been telling you guys for the last hour that I'm about to move. And then I wait 15 minutes and then I catch another fish every time. Anyway, here's this one. He ain't no monster, but I don't know, I'd give him 12 pounds probably. Felt like a log just hit my boat. I don't see one though. That's kind of weird. Anyway, there's that one. Get him on out of here. Biggest fish of the day so far. Well, I'm gonna sit here and contemplate the future, the near future, as in the next 10 minutes. And I'll probably head on downriver and start dragging bait. I feel like bigger fish are probably down there. We've had a lot of rain. Alright, I'm finally on the move, folks. I have made an executive decision. I'm heading on downriver. I'm gonna drag 3 rods across a flat and see if there's any big fish down there. We'll see what we can do. I still got half that shad left, so these big gizzard shad we got here, you can have one and fish all day with it if you play it right. But I'm gonna get on down here. Alright, I just got to the spot where I want to fish. I'm going to throw these 3 out with some cut shad. Seeing some fish on bottom in about 20 feet. So I'm going to get these out here. Let that one run just a minute. That's good. A little wake from a boat just went by. Taking me for a little ride here. Now I don't want to put that one too far to the left because I got a dock over here. I'm going to turn a little bit. There we go. Alright. Let me get these out here and start fishing, folks. I won't bore you with the details. Alright, folks, so I just dragged this whole half-mile so stretch of river and I'm seeing fish, but probably not catfish, probably carp or something. Didn't get a single bite on that drag. That's alright, it's to be expected sometimes, especially this time of year. So all the action I got was back up river, but I'm not going to go back up there right now because I'm about to run out of time today. But I do believe that last week when we had those several days in a row of really warm weather, it probably sent most of these fish onto the nest, and that happens this time of year. And the folks that catfish a lot, they already know how this stuff goes, but for you folks who don't know how the spawn goes, typically when the water gets up, you know, into close to 70, the male fish will start to build nests around rocks and shallow water, undercut banks, down trees, root wads, that kind of thing. They'll build the nest, and then the female, you know, will fill up with eggs. They'll find the female, they'll do their little dance. The female will lay eggs on the nest, and then the male will kick the female off the nest, and then the male will guard the eggs for about a month to 6 weeks until they hatch and until they're big enough to swim away, and then the male comes off the nest, and then you get into your summer pattern where both the males and the females are hitting. And typically during the spawn you can catch fish. It's just always going to be a lot slower. So a lot of folks don't typically fish the spawn. In this part of the country, the mid-Atlantic, it usually goes from around Memorial Day weekend until around 4th of July, give or take, depending on the year. I mean, the weather's not always the same every year. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. Sometimes it can go all the way into August. You never know. You just got to get out there and fish and figure it out, you know. So even while I'm getting a little bite on here, a little bite. Anyway, if that fish doesn't hook up, then I'm going to go ahead and pack it up and get on out of here. I will probably, for this next month or so, fish downriver, you know, closer to the bay, maybe try some different species, you know, stripers, redfish, perch, that kind of thing. I'm still going to get out there and fish. But if I don't see you again in a while, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again here real soon, folks. So I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to get home. We'll see you in the next one, folks. I think we might have a bonus fish. Yeah. All right. Might be our bonus fish right here, folks. Yeah. We can end the day on that note. Smallest one of the day. I would take this one home and eat them, but I don't really have time and I don't really feel like fooling with it. So there's your bonus fish. And now we will see you in the next one.